The new era Prologue screen fades from black. A storm rumbles. A voice begins to narrate as images flicker across the sky. Machines and stars. Narrator voiceover. There was a time of birth, a time of fire and storm. 18 cubs, lions and tigers born beneath a broken sky. To the world, they were nothing, but destiny carved them into more. The Wildborn heroes who rose between claw and hand, jungle and city, beast and man. Visuals. The Wildborn cubs transforming into human forms, discovering powers, standing together against storms and shadows. But while the Wildborn grew in light, another story was forged in silence. In blood, in steel, the scene shifts. Soldiers descending into ruins, violet and green light spilling from crystal stones. Screams, then silence. Kael and Seris rise, transformed, cybernetic veins glowing, eyes burning. They were soldiers, Kael Draven. Seris Valea, chosen not by fate, but by cruelty. Rebuilt by stones that should never have been found. Betrayed by those they served. Enslaved in cages of stark design, images. Stark Dominion Laboratories, Kael chained, Seris writhing as her body shifts to metal. Then, the explosion. Fire. Screams. The two cyborgs walk from the ruins. And when their chains broke, the world learned their names. Vaynor Prime, Nixia Vale. Not heroes, not villains, but balance itself, the shield and the blade, the curse and the silence. The Wildborn are shown training in the light, while Nash Stark, now dark steel, rises in shadows, his armor burning with the Oblivion Shard. The cyborgs stand between, watching both sides. For in this age, the Stark bloodline wars with itself. Heroes rise, villains awaken, armies march. And between them all, two voices echo like thunder. We are not your heroes. We are not your enemies. We are the storm you cannot control. The screen goes dark. Only the glowing eyes of Kael and Seris remain. Then the title slams onto the screen in fire and steel. The new era. Early life Tony Stark Jr. was born into greatness, but grew up in shadows. His biological parents died mysteriously when he was just a child. No one ever discovered the truth, leaving Tony with questions that haunted his dreams. Lost and alone, Tony was placed in foster care and eventually adopted by Nora Allen and Henry Allen. They raised him as their own alongside their two children, Barry and Zoe Allen. For the first time, Tony felt like he had a family. Life with the Allens was simple, normal, almost peaceful. Childhood Tony Jr. grew up as a regular kid, hanging out with Barry, watching over Zoe and enjoying life without the heavy weight of his name. The Stark legacy was a rumor, a shadow he barely understood. He was happy just being a normal boy, but deep down there was always something restless in him. The discovery, age 14, one day, after school, Tony Jr., Barry, and Zoe went wandering into the outskirts of their town. What started as childish exploration turned into destiny. Hidden beneath rust and stone, they uncovered something extraordinary. The bunker. It was a massive underground vault, a forgotten stronghold of Tony Stark Sr., the Iron Man, who once saved the world. Inside lay broken suits, old prototypes, arc reactors, blueprints, and coded journals. It was like stepping into a graveyard of legends. Barry and Zoe froze with fear, convinced they were trespassing into something haunted, a place where ghosts lingered. But Tony? His eyes burned with wonder. He didn't see ghosts. He saw a challenge. He saw purpose. The obsession from that day forward, Tony Jr. became consumed. He ditched classes, sneaking away every day to repair the bunker's systems, restore its lights, and learn from its secrets. Piece by piece, blueprint by blueprint, he began to understand. This wasn't just a room full of machines. It was a legacy, a responsibility. And then came the moment of destiny. He began building his first suit. The birth of the air suit at 14, using scrap from old Stark tech and his own makeshift designs, Tony Jr. forged the beginning of his new identity. The air suit wasn't perfect. It was clunky, unstable, and far from polished. But it was his. For the first time, Tony wasn't just a foster child. He wasn't a boy haunted by mystery. He was a Stark, and with every will and every spark, every sleepless night, he carved a path not just to honor his grandfather's sacrifice, but to fight back against the darkness rising in the form of his own father, Nash Stark. Core Conflictony Jr. is caught between two worlds, the family who raised him with love, the Allens, the bloodline he inherited, the Starks. He chooses not to be defined by tragedy or corruption. He chooses to become the light his family left behind. Barry Allen, becoming the Flash Barry, grew up as the protective older brother, always making sure Tony and Zoe were safe. After discovering the bunker, he was shaken. He didn't want the past dragging them into danger. But one night, during a freak storm experiment gone wrong, caused by tinkering in the bunker with leftover Stark tech fused with experimental energy cells, Barry was struck by a surge of unstable electricity. Instead of killing him, it altered his body, binding him with the speed force. Overnight, Barry Allen became something else, the Flash. At first, he hid it. He was scared of what he'd become. But Tony Jr. saw the truth. The gift wasn't a curse. It was purpose. Iron Man Air Plus, the Flash equals street protectors at just 15 and 16. Tony Jr. and Barry formed an unlikely duo. While Tony perfected the air suit, Barry learned to control his speed. At first, they focused on low-level crime, robberies, car chases, and street gangs. Tony's tech plus Barry's speed made them unstoppable against small-time crooks. They weren't Avengers or Justice League material yet, but they were hope on the streets. This brought them closer as brothers. Barry had always wanted to shield Tony from danger, but now he realized they could shield the world together. The Allen family impact theory. Secret wasn't so secret at home. Zoe Allen noticed first. She saw the bruises, the late-night absences, and the excuses. At first, she felt left out, even betrayed. She wanted to be part of it, but wasn't given a role. This created tension between her and Tony, though deep down she admired him. Nora and Henry Allen saw their kids growing more distant. They loved Tony like their own son, but feared he was chasing his bloodline instead of building a future. They worried both Tony and Barry would end up lost to the same fate as Tony's parents. The family dinner table was never the same. The bunker reborn, the Forgetany, and Barry realized the bunker couldn't just be a grave of old Iron Man tech. They turned it into something new, the Forge, a base of operations symbolizing rebirth and creation. Tony brought it back to life with modern systems, AI security, and upgraded labs. Barry added his touch, speed tunnels, quick access routes, and energy conduits. Together, they made the forge not just a place to hide, but a beacon of their partnership. It became the center of their brotherhood, the heart of their mission, and a secret no one, not even Zoe, was fully allowed to see. The conflict, while they grew stronger as heroes, the cracks in the family widened. Zoe wrestled with being the one left behind. Nora and Henry struggled to keep their children safe, torn between protecting them and letting them embrace destiny. And above it all, the shadow of Nash Stark, Darksteel, loomed, waiting for the moment to strike, not against the world, but against his own son. The Allen family impact, Barry's Burdenberry, was always the golden boy of the Allen family. Good grades, steady future. The son, Henry, and Nora never had to worry much about. But after the accident that made him the Flash, his life shifted. He became secretive, always darting off, making excuses, and carrying injuries he couldn't explain. Henry noticed first the same fatherly instincts that once worried for Nora's safety, now worried for his son, his life. He didn't know Barry's secret, but he knew something was very wrong. Nora, though deeply caring, struggled between pride, Barry protecting others, and fear, losing her son to violence. Tony Jr.'s transformation for Tony Jr. Becoming the heir of Iron Man wasn't just a choice, it was an obsession. He started skipping meals, missing classes, and living in the bunker-turned forge. Nora worried about his health, his social life, and most of all, his heart. She feared he was chasing a ghost instead of his own future. Henry, on the other hand, worried about the Stark bloodline. He feared Tony would go down the path of arrogance and destruction, the same path Nash Stark had chosen. The Allens loved Tony like a son, but they couldn't help but wonder, did they save him from being an orphan, only to lose him to destiny? Zoe Allen. The forgotten one. Zoe felt it more than anyone. She adored Tony like an older brother, and she admired Barry, but when they both slipped away into their double lives, she was shut out. She saw the lies, the sneaking off, the excuses. At first, she was angry, furious that her brothers didn't trust her. Over time, the anger turned into loneliness. She felt like her family was breaking without anyone admitting it. Deep down, Zoe didn't just want to know. She wanted to help, but they never let her in. Her arc becomes critical because being excluded could either push her toward resentment or ignite her own path to becoming a hero or even something darker. The family tension dinner table silence. What used to be laughter-filled dinners turned into excuses, awkward silences, and lingering stares as Nora and Henry tried to pull secrets out of their boys. Arguments in the hall, Barry snapping at Henry for being too controlling. Tony clashing with Nora over his future. Zoe storming away, tired of being ignored. The question of choice. Nora once said, "Barry, Tony, you don't have to save the world. You just have to live in it." But neither of them listened. The emotional core of the Allen family represents the balance Tony Jr. struggles with. Bloodline, Starks, destiny, technology, power, corruption. Chosen family, Allens, love, humanity, hope, grounding. Every time Tony Jr. puts on the air suit, he's torn between who raised him and the shadow of the Stark legacy. And as Barry joins him in crime fighting, the family feels that rift deepen. Even as they save strangers, they risk losing each other. Zoe Allen, the shadow of the family, early struggles growing up. Zoe adored her big brother Barry and looked up to Tony Jr. like he was her own blood. But when they became the Flash and Iron Heir, she was left in the dark. Every night they snuck off, every lie told to her parents, and every secret she wasn't trusted with planted a seed of resentment. Instead of moping, Zoe made a silent promise. "If you won't let me in your world, I'll build my own." The detective path be 1617, Zoe leaned into her natural curiosity and sharp instincts. She started solving small mysteries around school and the neighborhood. Police training interested her, not for power, but for truth. She wanted to protect the innocent, but also uncover the secrets people tried to bury. She was known as the Bloodhound in her precinct cadet program for noticing things others overlooked. Joining Snake Eyes at 18, Zoe made a bold move. Instead of joining the regular military, she was recruited into a covert paramilitary force known as Snake Eyes, a black ops unit with cutting-edge tech and training superior to any known army. Snake Eyes specialized in covert infiltration, counter-terror, and advanced combat sciences. Here, Zoe became a weapons expert, a stealth operative, and most of all, a soldier who could fight alongside gods and legends without powers of her own. Hero transformation. After years of training, Zoe returns home, stronger, sharper, and colder than before. She finds Barry and Tony Jr. still carrying the weight of their legacies, still hiding things and still fighting shadows. But this time, she's not the little sister on the sidelines. She steps up, armed with her Snake Eyes gear and training, and declares, "You spent years shutting me out. Now you'll have to keep up with me." She adopts her own codename, something that reflects her Snake Eyes roots. We can brainstorm one, like Viper, Phantom Strike, or Black Widow style Cody name. Family impact, and Ree and Nora struggle again, but this time it's their daughter putting herself in harm's way. Nora tries to remind Zoe she doesn't need to prove herself. Henry, secretly, is proud of her strength. Barry and Tony Jr. are stunned. They see how much she's grown, how much she sacrificed, and they regret ever underestimating her. Eventually, she becomes the balance between the brothers. Where Barry is reckless and Tony is obsessive, Zoe is tactical and precise. So the Allens go from a normal family who fostered a Stark boy into a legendary trio of protectors. Tony Jr. gives the heir Iron Legacy. Barry Allen gives the Flash Hoey Allen, gives Snake Eyes operative turned hero.